Hello guys, this is Negacious. Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last episode we got into the rhythm of after starting Act 2 with Emi. We're apparently on Emi's route right now. We got into the rhythm of going for morning runs. We were awake at 4 AM and decided to go to the bleachers, but track Emi woke us up there. We ran, after which we went to the doctor, or the nurse, and had a little chat about Emi's past. The nurse and Emi actually have a common past, which is cool, and also we overheard a little something that we probably shouldn't have, with the nurse saying to Emi that she has to be more careful, because apparently her legs are still under a lot of stress from her rehabilitation. So, without further ado, let's get going. We're going to the track meet with Rin. You came? Of course. I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs. Seemingly bored with our conversation, she turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. I owe Emi money now. Why's that? I didn't think you'd show up. Okay, so they had a bet on this too. Emi did. So I owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and the Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way, and soon we've settled down on an almost empty bench. Whoa, who is this? Woman? An older woman. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I assume. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives her an oddly familiar-seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I have no idea what kind of voice to give her. I thought that you went to get a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wondered why I was down there. You forgot why you went down there to get me. The woman laughs, again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Meiko Ibarazaki, Emi's mother. Ah, okay. Meiko Ibarazaki. Meiko. Emi's mother. Okay. I have no idea how to do, like, older female voices. Not that I know how to do female voices in general, like, at all. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emi. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emi's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Mrs. Ibarazaki. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emi's mother. I take it that you've not known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seemingly pleased by this assessment. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see? It's really up to us to make its introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, I nod. Mrs. Ibarazaki leans back a little on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So, how... Let's not jump to conclusions, Mrs. Ibarazaki. So, how long have you and Rin been dating? Excuse me? I just closed Discord. So, how long have you and Rin been dating? My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for the mumbled response. Maybe. So, this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. Wow. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly Emmy gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. Ooh. Panning pictures. I direct my attention to the track, whether Let's take that again. I direct my attention to the track, where they're preparing for the first sprint. It looks like a 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling, with an almost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol. Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside line, Emmy surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up to her. Their efforts come to naught though, since a final burst of speed from Emmy leaves them at least a half a second behind. Yay! He won! Mrs. Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly, and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emmy bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gotten faster since last time. That was incredible. Mrs. Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emmy is a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I see that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they'd take a very long to compete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason. I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that entertaining. So you're just here to cheer Emmy on? Yeah. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. Well, that's true. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmiest very often. Emmiest? But here you can, see? She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false sensation. I can see what she's actually that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin and could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds, I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emmy. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emmy's prowess all came from her father's side. At the mention of Emmy's father, Mrs. Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her in the running, you know. Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask after Emmy's father, but after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I may ask? Emmy's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emmy just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering. They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emmy that I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight? Of course. I'll admit that I zone out for a while. I almost didn't notice that the relay's about to begin, but when I look, I can't find Emmy. I thought that Emmy would be running the relay. She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet. Ah, well, makes sense actually. You wanna spare the ace of the team to be the last. Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emmyest? Maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmyest, I suppose. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only barely, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looks concerned for a second. Oh, Emmy! Did she hurt herself, do you think? You noticed it too? It must be bad. She frowns, as if deciding on the next course of action. Eventually, that proves to be too tiresome, and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a laurel branch. That's not going to be easy. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Lol. Well, we didn't really try all that hard. Or at all, but hey, whatever. Emi is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emi to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave Emi over. Then again, I'm not sure what Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. It doesn't seem like her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emi, who looks up and grins happily at me. Us. Hey, you showed up! Guess Rin owes you money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't find one. Hey! Hey, neither did you! It wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. Guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems like it's my fault after all, Emi. Emi laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. Good. So, how did I look? I stop myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing, and settle for the substantially safer, very impressive. Emi seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems that it would take away from her efforts somehow. Great to hear! I was worried that I'd look a little slow in the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Actually, I know Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence. What was that all about? He noticed it at the end. That's no good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later. There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly notice a slight twitch on her face. Like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then that I notice her breathing is a little shallow too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. Just sore from all the running is all. And come on, a little pain isn't going to stop me. Oh no? Emi grins, and for a moment she looks like she did during the sprint, fierce and unconquerable. Or, to put it another way, really beautiful. Hasn't yet. Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right, I'm Emi Ibarasaki, fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Emi giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget. Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Something? Normally we do it the day after, but since track meet was on Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course. Right, of course. Oh right, your mom wanted to say that she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her on the stands. I'm glad she made it. It used to be my dad who showed up to the meets, but my mom's done a pretty good job of taking over. She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's still all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow too. I'm not cold at all, and I've got my jacket with me, so without a word, I throw it around her shoulders. Emi jumps slightly and then grins at me. Hey, thanks! It's getting a little cold, I guess. Yeah, looked like it. Just as I begin to wonder whether or not giving Emmy my jacket could be taken the wrong way, a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony. Oh yeah, thanks. She turns to Rin and myself. You don't have to stick around for this spot, it takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, Hisao. Morning run tomorrow, don't forget. How could I? Good point. I mean, spending time with me, after all. Ah. With this, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as a medal these days. Rin and I head away from the track, Rin remaining deep in whatever thoughts she has for the most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emmy-ish. With this odd statement, she turns and heads back into the building. Honestly, was it that big a deal? Emmy was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of those problems seems like an obvious reaction. Though, I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket if Emmy never remembers to return it. I guess Rin has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry about the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsive with my stuff. Responsible. Emmy-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing. Katawa Shoujo. I love this game. Oh, the nurse. You haven't forgetting to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days? I knew I should have kept quiet. I keep my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I hadn't been remembering to take my medicine. I've been rushing out of my room to get to the track before Emmy. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. Oh, good for you, Hisao. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only a slight, and it was only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so really it couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making excuses to the nurse? Moreover, why do I feel a need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it all comes down to my being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seemed concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insisted I tell the nurse, and so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. So, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're going to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills, and you can't push yourself too bad. But if I don't push myself, how do I improve? I don't know where that came from. The nurse seems to have an idea. Now, where have I heard that before? He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Ha! She's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again. He's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taking your medication, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop if your chest starts to bother you. I'd prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. A bit of a lofty goal to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. I've got to remember to take my medication. You're right. I'm sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid, huh? And I know you can be responsible, Hisao. A situation like yours, you've got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you've started to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, eh? Yeah, they've really been helping me. I mean, until today I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's really impressive to see Emmy run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible! The nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Hisao. I watched her the first couple of races, before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh yeah, it wasn't that big a deal. I had honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten it back. The nurse gets a smile that makes me feel like he's just made a joke. Not to you, but Amy certainly appreciated it. And I know she appreciates you running with her in the mornings. This one catches me off guard a little. Sure, she mentioned that it's easier to keep your schedule with an extra person, but I didn't think that I was doing her a favor at all. I thought she was doing me the favor for helping me to follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's going to push herself more. And if she tries even harder while you're around, because, well, it's you. What the heck does that mean? Yeah, I do wonder what does that mean, Kappa. You'd love to know, wouldn't you? He laughs in the style of an evil megalomaniac. No, seriously, it's because you're her friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Well, probably. But that's not the point. The point is you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful for that, even if she never says it. What do you mean, even if she never says it? Amy doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what he's talking about. Amy always seemed pretty talkative to me. I see. The nurse suddenly realized that he's been rambling and stops talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercise. Just walk the track instead of running for a few days. Let things calm down. And take your damned medicine. I laugh as I exit the office, bumping straight into Emmy. Whoops, sorry about that. Are you okay? What did the nurse say? Do you need to go to a hospital? Oh my gosh, it was my fault, wasn't it? I've been pushing too hard, or haven't I? I'm a horrible person! The words pour forth like a torrent. She's really agitated. I didn't expect her to be this concerned about me, to be honest. Gotta calm her down, but how the hell do I do that? I do the only thing that I can think of. I give her a hug. Amy tenses up slightly, so I pat her head what I hope is a reassuring manner. Hey, settle down. I'm fine, okay? No worries. Aww. I can feel Emmy's body relax as I continue to assure her I'm fine. Her arms wrap around me, as if she's trying to confirm that I'm not about to fall over dead. I catch a whiff of her hair. It smells like sweat, or how adrenaline should smell. It's the scent of activity. And a hint of strawberries, from her shampoo I suspect. I just need to remember to take my medicine, that's all. Don't worry about it, it's not your fault. You're sure? Her voice is muffled, mostly because at the moment her face is pressed into my chest. Yeah, I'm sure. I just need to take it a little easy for the next few days. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of us are. It also occurs to me how nice being this close feels. I can feel Emmy's heartbeat calming down, and I have to resist the urge to rest my chin on the top of her head. Thank goodness. You really had me worried there, Hisao. And the nurse. Emmy, are you gonna come in here anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I interrupting? The two of us spring apart as if the other just caught on fire. Emmy brushes her hair back nervously and laughs. Of course not. I'll see you later, okay? Oh, and Hisao? Take your damn medicine! This last phrase is punctuated by a punch to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll remember. See you later. The nurse smiles again, like he's in on some joke I don't know about, and waves to me as I head from my room, feeling a burning in my cheeks. I need a shower. A cold one. If the thoughts running through my head are any indication. She was really soft. My pills are waiting for me when I make it to my room. I swallow them without a second thought. I don't know why I didn't think of waiting until after the runs to take them. For some reason I figured it was when I woke up or not at all. But no, they only need to be taken every 24 hours. The exact time of day doesn't factor into it. My thoughts drift back to the hug in the hallway. It's weird, you'd expect someone to smell foul after a run, but for some reason, Emmy smelled right. That tinge of sweat just seemed to fit her. I really need that shower. Yeah, get your head out of the gutter, man. Okay. This episode is running way longer than I expected, so we're gonna cut it off here, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, and now we're on the roof. Okay, nice. So, we are going to leave this episode of Katawa Shoujo here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support. If you want to show your appreciation, you can either subscribe and click the bell button next to the subscribe button to get the notifications of my videos. I didn't realize this until now, but thanks to a certain friend of mine, I realized it. You can also like or comment down below. Any constructive feedback is welcome. But yeah, my name is Negacious, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.